Champions League, and we are in a huge Group C game where Peristeri trying to confirm their place in the playoffs. Brose trying to stay alive. On the road here in Athens, a win is a must for last season's Final Four team if they are going to make the playoffs for this season. Here is the schedule for tonight's action in Group C, with Monabar at 7 o'clock, CET against Nymburk, and the other team in contention for the top spot, Iberostar Tenerife, will play at 20:30 later on. The final game will be tomorrow. While these two teams faced each other in a three-point classic in Germany earlier in the Basketball Champions League, and that has contributed to these standings where, as you can see, Peristeri are one game clear, but if Bamberg get the win, Bamberg would go above Peristeri because they have won both games between the two clubs. It's down to those 5 teams for the final qualification place, and it's now must-win days for these two teams here in Athens. It's not been a great season for this roster from Bamberg. Lots of ups and downs, lots of inconsistent moments. It was a poor start. They currently sit 9th in the Bundesliga in Germany, but at some points of the season they have come up with phenomenal performances. They have gone on momentum runs, and that's what they need right now. A win here and a win next week would see them qualify for the postseason. Peristeri, on the other hand, had a battle. That's the only way to describe it at the weekend. 64 free throws, 61 fouls in their loss to Ike, where they dropped to 4th in the A1 League in Greece. Stephen Gray, one of the leading lights on this team, kept 0 from the field. No successful field goal for Stephen Gray. And as we've said before, with Peristeri, as Stephen Gray goes, so do the Winmasters. Story for fans of Peristeri has been the real upsurge of Yannick Moreira. Has been phenomenal in the last few weeks for the Athens club. And if he can continue to show that type of form, he is going to be a real handful for Brose Bamberg. To an extent, don't really have an out-and-out 5. They do have real athleticism and size at the 4, so it's a real mobile matchup on the inside of this one. But it's a matchup I think Bamberg have to win. They cannot allow Peristeri to get dominance on the inside, in particular Moreira, who's been absolutely phenomenal in the last few weeks. The Angolan international, 2'5" center, he's 28 now, averaging over 5 rebounds a game, second on this team in performance. Also double-digit points per game. He's just having a marvelous Basketball Champions League season and enhancing an already good and solid pro reputation. You can see the Peristeri players with the Kobe Bryant number 24 warm-up t-shirts as a mark of respect for the great man who, as everybody will know, tragically killed in the helicopter crash along with 9 other people on Sunday, including his daughter. And nice touch of respect. And the word respect is what the whole basketball community has shown, and not just the basketball community. Across sports, across the world, Kobe Bryant had a huge influence. There will be a moment of silence that we'll talk about in a moment ahead of the game. In European terms, a tragic weekend in basketball as Robert Archibald, the former multi-team ACB player, and also spent years in the NBA, played in European club competition. And while we're looking at one of the biggest club competitions of current times, it's something to represent and remember. Another great loss to the world of basketball in Robert Archibald. Brose have the number 8. Peristeri have the number 24. The 2 numbers retired by the Lakers. The 2 numbers of Kobe Bryant's career. Well, we'll have a moment again to reflect on the life of Kobe Bryant. Let's just focus on this game for the last part of the warm-up. Peristeri had a little dip in their Basketball Champions League form, but then have come good with some big performances in the last couple of weeks. Bamberg had a big win over the Liga, who already cannot obviously qualify. And a win in the German Bundesliga at the weekend. Still only has them in 9th place. But that would have done the confidence the world of good. The 3 officials, the 3rd team on the floor, Lucas Oskars, Raquel Proc, and Alexeyev Davidov are the 3 officials, the 3rd team on the floor that would take charge of what could be a decisive game in this group. The qualification scenario could be all complete in terms of which 4 teams will progress after tonight's game. There's one man for sure that won't want that to be the case, and a group from Bamberg that would love to go back to the Final Four. Here's the starting lineup with Paris Lee, who was at the Final Four for Antwerp. Lewis Alindi, Kevin O'Reilly, really successful season. Seinfelder at the forward spot, top scored for Bamberg at the weekend. Bryce Taylor took the opportunity to not play a lot of minutes in that game that they were comfortable in. Raoul Moore's trying to manage his resources at one of the most taxing times of the season, as he tries to juggle the requirements of a tough Bundesliga campaign alongside a Basketball League, Champions League campaign that requires every single ounce of effort to make the postseason. Must win for Bamberg. Here's the roster for Peristeri. Going to get a look at the starters in a moment. For Papanikolaopoulos, as a team again that really had a tough battle against Ike at the weekend. As I mentioned, 61 fouls in the game. The scoreboard was like Christmas lights in London, and only 2 players, ironically, only 2 players fouled out, both for Ike. But it was a real war. They came out at the wrong end of it. They dropped to 4th in the A1 League. Would have taken them to 2nd place if they'd have got the win. So Peristeri up there, competing at the highest levels of domestic. And it looks like if they just can get a home win, will progress into the postseason. Just before the opening tip, there will be a moment of silence as we go look at Peristeri's side. Morea obviously starts, Hatcher starts, which is not the norm. They go with Morea and Moses on the inside, and it's obvious that Coach Papanikolaou has got one thing in mind: wants to start well and get the business done early so he can control this one and get the win that would take them into the playoffs. So the players will come onto the floor, and there will be a moment's silence that will enable us to share the condolences for Kobe Bryant. A great athlete, great role model, a family and father, and a husband. And there will be a minute's silence to honor and remember the legend, 5 times NBA champion, 2 times gold medalist at the Olympics, and a FIBA Basketball World Cup ambassador, There'll be 1 minute of silence.
Παρακαλώ κυρίες και κύριοι, όλοι όρθιοι. Ενός λεπτού σιγή στη μνήμη του Kobe Bryant.
Around the basketball world, everybody's paying their own tributes. The Basketball Champions League at every venue. Today and tomorrow, we'll be having those moments of silence. So wherever you're joining us from the world, Peristeri in the yellow, Brose in the black, and Peristeri looking for a win to confirm their place in the playoffs. Have a first look. Off the glass for two is good. That's a really aggressive take. Kingsley Moses rips and went and gets the two. Drops it inside. Taylor, feet set for the three. Little stroke is off. And foul on the play. And Kingsley Moses at both ends of the floor as the foul is committed by Olundi. And Bamberg are going to be up the floor. You'd have thought they'd have tried to wear down this Peristeri lineup. The three-point game in Germany, close throughout. No team really got away. Bamberg held on for what can only be described as just a hard-fought win. Here's Hathier. Backs out, leaves a little space. 5 on the possession. Will get the ball screen, gets his feet set for the three. And that's no good. Defensive rebound is should have been, but wasn't gathered in. Hatcher, feet set for three, is short. And ultimately, Paris Lee comes down with it, brings it, and looks to push. Gets the early ball screen. Hatcher jumps out and turns it over. It's all about the defense by Will Hatcher, really. Bamberg will want to push. They'll want to keep the intensity high. They will have an 8-9 player rotation. Peristeri will rotate away, but will want to keep this much more controlled. Gray comes off the high screen. Pick and pop action. Moses again puts it on the floor. Hatcher drops it in high. The foul line jump shot is good. Kingsley Moses has 4 and a rebound. Every stat, every trip has Kingsley Moses' name on it. 8:20 to go in the first. There's a slip, recovery. Last ball's off the knee. That'll be turned over. Lindy got into didn't handle the first pass very well. Still only 21 years old and still talked about his potential and talent. 2'5" forward. Gray comes off the high screen, same play. They dive the big this time. Wants an early touch. Foul on the play. And Murray, Sam Murray, the Egyptian. One of the heroes of Egyptian basketball from Afrobasket. And the Continental qualifiers will kick in end of Feb. Nice drive by Gray, soft touch, gets the 2. And he's done something inside just over 2 minutes that he couldn't do in the whole game. Scored from the field at the weekend. Peristeri drops it inside. Murray going up, little ball fake, steps through, wraps the pass. Then again, get a 3-second call. If you go in there, you can't spend that long in there. Schenkfelder. Also guilty with Murray of just forcing up in traffic. Really did have the inside position. 6-0 start for Peristeri. Step back for Hatcher and 1. Raul Moores can't wait any longer. 7:20 to go in the first. Will have to take the time out because his team, to coin a phrase, is stuttering. Misfiring, anything you want to say. They have not come down the floor and looked anything like in rhythm. Let's take a listen to Raul Moores.
We're gonna get back in this game, but we need execution and we need defense, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get it on.
Well, the 2 key things from Coach Moores, yep, they've got to be patient and they've got to execute, but they've got to be more aggressive, more positive, more definitive, any of those words, because they have been passive in the extreme at the start of this one. They trailed 9-0 with a Hatcher 3 throw to come, which is long. Peristeri hunts it. Hatcher going after it defensive. It's a great start, but Lee breaks him down, drops it inside out, wide open 3. Schenkfelder for 3s, no good. Murray comes down with a rebound, puts it off to Schenkfelder, who goes for a soft touch, doesn't get the roll. And Asser Murray has got to take some responsibility and get up himself. 2 feet from the bucket, passed it up. Hatcher, who looks very focused at the moment and very active. Little hesitation, breaks it down. Oh, beautiful little pass, dropped it inside, but Moses can't handle. He had the space and then just could not collect the basketball. Nice pass though by Hatcher. Just saw a cute little pass in lane. Schenkfelder doesn't look at the hoop. Murray reverses it. Bryce Taylor wide open for the 3 is no good. Schenkfelder's on the glass, comes up the offensive rebound, has it ripped away by Gray. Should be a 14 reset. Gray had it, then lost it. I think they're just going to they are going to go 14 reset. Murray releases. Peristeri goes inside. Murray with a little push shot for 2. And finally, the Egyptian puts it up, gets the 2, and Bamberg are off and running. It's taken them 4 minutes, but there's an eternity left in the game. Hatcher, Lee tries to get after it. Great effort defensively. Asser Murray came over the top because Morea had the spot, and the Egyptian just would not give it up. Fought back for it, came over the top. Moment of fame denied for the guy wet sleeping the floor. Gray with a quick release on the 3 is short, but he gets his own rebound. And Hatcher, who is, let's just say he's in this, he really is focused. Nice pass, Morea! throws it down hard and underlines what he's been the last few weeks, the focal point offensively. Bryant comes back at it, goes up with a right hand hook, gets the drop for 2. Great response. Hatcher is just running the game at the moment. The little matchup with Lee. Somehow gets the shot away, gets the drop. And Hatcher is absolutely running the show. Strong move, stays with the play, gets the contact, stays with it, soft roll. And if you go hard, if you make things happen for yourself, after he gave that assist, he's going to go to the free throw line for the three-point play, and he has been phenomenal at the start of this one. Hatcher goes to, ticks it over to 14 points, and it's already a double-digit lead. Lee deals with a 2-2-1. Schoenfelder gets feet set for 3 and just drills it. And after the weekend, you'd have thought he would back himself to the hill. Had a super game in Germany. $19-point game for Christian Schoenfelder. 8 from 9 from 2-point range. Inside out. And if only the guy on the bench could take the shot. Cameron Taylor off the bench into the stat sheet for all the wrong reasons. One of the great things, one of the real stories of Antwerp's run to the Final Four was the way that Raoul Moors never panicked, got the best out of a group, and won some games from really difficult positions, and really qualified against all odds, and then just built, oh, beautiful move. Broken down though, chance to run here, numbers down the floor. Whistle on the play, Gray takes one for the team. They qualified by the odd game last year, Antwerp, with Moors in charge. If he gets that type of situation with Bamberg, you know he's going to prepare for those one-off games in the first round of the playoffs. Lee has it, guarded by Hatcher. The long 2 is no good for Taylor. And Morea and Moses just dominant at the moment on the inside. Morea thinks about the long 2. Now he needs a pass. Gray stays active, gets to the far side of the ring. Morea's all over the offensive boards. And gets it back to Hatcher. Hatcher attacks it, goes off the glass. Doesn't get the drop, Schoenfelder gives it up. Taylor, and 1. There's the foul, and he was already in the act of. Salustros never short of a little bit of advice for the official. So make it a 4-point game, and Bamberg have just got a foothold in the game now. Salustros, strong move, goes with a tough right-hand runner. Taylor comes down with a rebound, looks to push. Got a holding foul under the basket. Moses is going to be charged with the personal. Doesn't need to get too animated about it. There's no problem with trying to dominate there, and if you end up with the foul, take it. Real feeling in the game. As you can imagine, a place in the playoffs at stake for both teams. Nothing definite if Bamberg win. They're still going to have to win next week. With Peristeri trying to cement their place in the postseason. Tough move. Super little step by Harris. Drop step to the baseline. Protected the basketball. Went up strong. Moses picks up 2 quick ones. as Harris has him pinned right there. Moses will almost certainly have to sit. As Harris completes the three-point play, and that's a much happier coach. The backboard for two, that'll be interference. And Stephen Gray, so aggressive going to the hoop. And they're going to say that it was bouncing off the ring, so therefore they can touch it now, but is it in? And referees are saying, yes, it was. Lindy drops it in low. Skip past Moreau, ball to the corner. Gonna have to share it. The open three is long. Great work on the glass. A tremendous effort to come down with it. So Lestras. Tough finish. And the feisty forward. First man back. They know how important this game is, definitely. The long three is way off. And Olindi, I think, is looking for options now, not letting options come to him, so he'll sit, as will Marley. I mean, Atkins checks in. Gray. With the three, drops it. Both he and Hatcher have got a focus tonight that is not always there. Super effort. Atkins off the bench at the elbow. Long two is off. Whistle on the play. So Peristeri on a bit of a run, opened it out to an 8-point lead with these two to come. After it being cut to 2, he'll be back out to 10. Isaiah Cousins just about to check in. 2 from 2 from the line. Gray's going to sit, Cousins will come in. Nipolos rotates his resources. Aubergeon. Whistle on the play. We are holding foul on the pick. Cousins will pick up the personal. And both teams in the penalty. See, there's the hold. Kind of put the palms of your hand on your opponent. Darian Atkins misses the first. Second is good. There's always been a debate about this Bamberg roster. It's how much confidence does it really have? It's a good, balanced group. Nice rip off the glass for 2 is no good. Ball stays in bounds. Double shot. Oh, nice little drive, nice pass. And Harris gets the 2. All about the penetration, though. Cameron Taylor really has warmed to the task here. They're not going to hold that. Ball's out of bounds. Will stay with Peristeri as Gaios Skoudilis, not really athletic enough for that pass. Quick release. Lustros is no good. Defensive rebound is hauled in. Harris has it. And will look to give it up. That was Sean. Goes to the right hand, little flip. Atkins, little floater, will not get it, gets after it though. And they're gonna have to look at that again. It was right at the buzzer. They got the shot away. It's whether the putback will count. And they're gonna count it, I think. They're gonna look. They're gonna have to look because they've got the technology to look. So I'm sure we're going to get to look at that with the official. But if you are Coach Moore's Brose Bamberg, you are going to be happy with where you are at the half after the start that Peristeri had. There's the shot, hits the ring. And that looked like it was. They get a good look at it here with the other end of the floor. Very close. Let's just see how the officials call this. They're going to count it, much to the dismay of the home crowd. And that means that Bamberg, for all the woe, for all the problems they had early in the game, have reached the end of the first quarter down 5, 23-18. And I'm not sure Peristeri can play any better than that. They can shoot the three better than that, obviously. So can Bamberg. But Peristeri's intensity, the tempo offensively was excellent. But Bamberg, great calming timeout by Coach Moores of just impatient, as he asked, have executed better as that first quarter went on, and have now closed it to a 5-point margin. Bamberg need the win. Nothing would be settled if they get the win. Peristeri can settle this group if they win today, because both them and Nizhny would then qualify. The one man who really was on a mission of qualification was Will Hatcher. That was a phenomenal start of the game for Hatcher. He's back at the start of quarter 2. So Bamberg in the black uniform have a chance to close the 5-point margin. First possession up. Sean goes up. They're going to call that offensive. Let's take a look. Well, Sean picks up the offensive foul. That is not the start Bamberg wanted. Meanwhile, Will Hatcher. It's Peristeri into the half court. Skoudilis will move it on. Offensive foul as Skoudilis just walked through. And when Skoudilis walks through you like that, you know all about it. Just walked through Cameron Taylor. Skoudilis with the first foul. So 2 offensive fouls back to back. First 2 possessions. Sean. Oh, that's great effort defensively. Oh, way to hunt the ball down though. Sean has it. Atkins will dive. Nice lift. Little floater in the lane for 2 is no good. But all of a sudden, Bamberg is just outworking Peristeri. Foul on the play. Skoudilis picks up 2 quick ones. And there's no way they should have got inside position. But Cameron Taylor gets active, gets on the glass, comes up with another offensive rebound. And Bamberg are the team that are energized at the beginning of this second quarter. Yannick Molia comes back to restore some balance. They're going to go the other way. Agromanis, who didn't start tonight, he started most of this Basketball Champions League season. Gets involved defensively. Messy start to this second quarter, but the intensity level has picked up a notch. Cousins, quick attack it and go off the dribble, gets it knocked away. Oh, what a block. Atkins says, get out of here. Just threw it away. Arian Atkins just protected the ring with a capital P. Atkins looks to hand off. That's not what he's going to get. Now he gets the handoff. Taylor in the lane, little floater. Soft touch for two. And Bamberg close it back to a three-point margin. Hatcher. They hit the second side. Action away from the ball. Cousins comes off the screen, breaks the defensive down. Hatcher wide open for three. He is good. Super execution. No set call, just come out of transition. Atkins goes inside. Taylor is really active, wide open, over shot for three, answers. We have a ball game, toe-to-toe, place in the playoffs at stake. Morelea puts it on the floor. In the lane, gets the soft roll. Atkins sets the ball screen. They lift on the weak side to go inside. Pass was overthrown, but it's going to stay with Bamberg. Cousins was quick on their help, but couldn't control it. Knocked it out of bounds. 6 seconds on the baseline. Oletin was showing on the baseline. Nice little hole. Foul on the play. Elias Harris took all the responsibility. Popped. Super little hole on the out of bounds. Get a replay of Hatcher draining the three. Sean just followed that in down the other end. 3 for 3, toe for toe. And that is how to protect the ring. Chance to make this a three-point game. Harris is good with the first. .75% across this Basketball Champions League season for Elias Harris. Goes 2 for 2. 9 points personal for Harris. More than anyone else, he really got Bamberg going in this game after that woeful start. Cousins wants the ball scheme from Morea, who slips and then dives. Cousins on the pull-up for two is sweet. Paris Lee back in the game. Got to become assertive, Paris Lee here. He's got to start actually warming to that head-to-head with Hatcher. At the moment, Hatcher is winning that one on points. Seven turnovers for Bamberg, and we're only just into the second quarter. Blake outside the three, gives it up to Hatcher. Turns the corner, goes with the right hand, soft touch. Morea can't get the follow. Bamberg in transition. Oh, Harris. It comes off his leg just to rub salt into the wound. Morea's quickness, as much as anything else, bowed him out here. In fact, it was Cousins. Hatcher takes the ball screen. Defense really beginning to get going. Nice pass. Well, no one at home on the help. And Morea just slipped to the hoop. Nice find, nice finish. Shoan stops, fires up the three, is short. Morea's going to hunt that one down. Hatcher has it and pushes in transition. Little messy, so gives it up. Hatcher. Morea goes down low, and it's a pretty decent decision by Shoan, because there's no way he can guard in there, so go for the steal. You may have to take one for the team, but you are in a very disadvantaged situation. Second foul. Cousins looks to turn the corner, moves it on. Morea will hand off. Hatcher, who's seen a lot of the basketball, in control of this game, steps back for the three, is short. He chases it down and pushes, needs people ahead. Harris gives him an option in the post, goes to the middle, little ball fake, goes up with the right hand turnaround, and made it a little tougher than it needed to be. Morea will find Cousins, and he challenges you on every catch, as does Hatcher. It's the most aggressive I've seen Peristeri in this Basketball Champions League season. Whistle on the play. Atkins will sit. Picks up his first foul. Nice contribution, Darion Atkins. Christian Schenkfelder checks back in. Schenkfelder does a really good job, real blue-collar worker. Has a knack of scoring. Lee's going to pick up the personal. Hatcher on the dribble. Looks inside. Morea can't handle that. Turnover. And a foul by Hatcher. This is one of those where if you make a genuine attempt, you're not going to find yourself in an unsportsmanlike situation, although Hatcher's going to sit. He's replaced by Carolan Pilath. Pilas, still only 18 years old, the young guard. Moses checks back in. Moses has the 2 fouls, don't forget, with 4:20 to go. But he and Morea was so effective starting on Shoan in the little hole. His foul really drew it, let's just say expertly. Ray picks up the personal. There you go. Second foul. Fouls beginning to set the scene to become an issue. A lot of people on 2 fouls at the moment. No one will want to really take 3 into the second half. Shoan comes up with the first of the 3 throws. Two for 2 from the line. Bamberg closed to within 5. 3-quarter man-to-man. Again, trying to take time out of the possession. Gray outside the three-point line. They switch on the inside. They try to front Moses down low. Correa comes high. Pilas off the glass for two is no good. Defensive rebound. Schoenfelder and Sean, chance to run here for Bamberg. No one stopped him. Going baseline, spins to the middle, has it knocked away. But Moran went after it, which sometimes has his coaches a little bit fearful he's going to pick up yet another foul. I've got to say it's been a very good response by Bamberg to the excellent start. Lee with the three is way short. Morea comes down with a defensive rebound. Gray off the glass for two. Just leant in and kissed the window. Comes up with a wry smile because I think he believes he was hit, but just a super little move. Watch the way he finds an angle here. There's some contact, goes through some contact, gets hit again, but stays focused on where he wants to put the ball. Gets the two. And Peristeri had the 7-point lead with 3.5 to go in the first half.
You go in the horns side of Asen. Okay. Asen and not too deep. Okay. Please, you flash up. Okay. You pass it. Okay. And as you pass it, you sprint in a fake handoff. Then you're gonna move up just a little bit. Pass it, attack. You try to seal your man. Okay. Just like we did in practice. Let's go. Go. We try something.
Peristeri has it. Baseline for two is good. And Taylor again instantly adds to this Bamberg effort. It's just now toe-to-toe. Moses has it in the block. Looks to go to work. We'll go back to that right hand off the glass for two. Once he gets deep enough, Moses will finish. Again, the answer is instant. Both teams, you can see 20 out of 36 in the keyway. Bamberg 18th and 31. Both teams being very aggressive, taking the ball to the gut of the defense. Gray on the tough pull-up is no good. Bryant will come down with a rebound and give it up. Taylor, Taylor drops it in low to Moran. Goes up, he's fouled. Moran will take one. And they'll have to earn it from the free throw line. Assem Moran. Morea will sit, as I indicated. Fouls will become an issue the way this game has developed. It's been aggressive. Both teams have gone to the inside, have challenged the defense of the opponent.
Like you did from this side. Off me, get a hand in there and recover. Like you did. They can pick it up. Shoulder forward, and you can open both options. Now, the ball, let's say, goes from here and it gets Gray
Neither team is really lighting it up from the three-point line, but they're predominantly trying to go inside, and both teams doing it very well at the moment. Samurai on the free throw line. For 2, Taylor, his work rate is absolutely phenomenal. Gets to the far side of the ring, nice move to the inside for 2. And more than anybody else, Taylor, along with Harris, their intensity has dragged Bamberg back into this three-point game. 140 remains in the half. Gray looks inside, gets Moses a touch, will try and work his way deep. Goes to the baseline, and 1. It's no match for Schenkfelder. He's giving up 8 centimeters in the matchup. He's giving up a lot of physicality, and he just gave the baseline. He got no help. Surely he's got to get help on that matchup. Moses just bullies him in the post, completes the three-point play. Moses not wanting to pick up another foul, he'll sit. Or is that Stephen Gray that's gone to the bench? It's Stephen Gray that's gone to the bench. Moses still in the game. Peristeri would advance the ball. Bamberg have to finish this half strong now. It's a 6-point margin. They do not want to go in double digits down. Lee to the corner with the kick. That's messy. Shown nowhere to go. Greek clubs almost inherently understand the circumstance of a game. If they close out this half strong, you could go into the half in control of this game. Taylor's going to be charged with the personal. Moreira will go to the free throw line. Taylor comes early this time, which is like him to come early, but can't foul. And they've given the foul to Moreira on the first matchup. Chance to make this an 8-point game with 1:09 to go. If you're Bamberg, you want that to become 6 or 4 going into the half. If you're Peristeri, you'd love to go in 10 up. While it won't be decisive, big 1 minute in the game here. Peristeri has it. Ray will get it to Taylor. Goes in the lane, he's blocked. Bryant comes down with it, tries to force himself up. Great effort. Super effort by the Egyptian. Just powers himself up, and they've now turned it over. Bonus time here for Bamberg. Atkins checks in with 44 seconds remaining. So you have Atkins and Harris on the inside. Lee looks to turn the corner, picks it up. Taylor tries to work the baseline, takes a tough one, and one. Old Taylor's been phenomenal in the first half. Agravanis can't control the physicality, and then fouls. And Taylor hung with it, went through the contact. Agarvanis picks up the personal. And what could have been a double-digit game becomes a 3-point game going into the half. And Peristeri will take the timeout when we come back. Cameron Taylor will be on the free throw line, looking to make this a 3-point game.
Will make the out of bounds. Yannick here, Salou, and Hart. First, second, pass. Don't have any pass. Stop out, pass, and send off. Okay. Play zip five, be ready. If they switch, we put the ball back and we post up Yannick inside. Otherwise, we play on the second pick and roll. With Hatcher. Okay. Hatcher. So
it's a big minute for Bamberg in the context of the game. Looking at a double-digit margin, possible double-digit margin going into the half. Taylor makes it a 3-point game with 37 seconds remaining. And Bamberg up the floor. Hatcher's back in. Calculated gamble. Gets it over the half. Stopping the score. Well, game on already. Morea will hand off. Hatcher takes the ball screen. Little bounce pass. Ball knocks away. It comes off Morea's leg. Quick hands by Atkins on the recovery. And plenty of time for Bamberg. Hatcher steps out. Cousins steps in. Hatcher not going to risk anything defensively. Peristeri has it. Garana Pelas will try and guard Peristeri. Taylor, man and a half for me. In the lane, floats, takes a tough one, doesn't get the roll. Great work on the glass. Super work on the glass by that man, Cameron Taylor. When they were down 11-0, Taylor came in, and since then he has been the undisputed force behind Bamberg's recovery. Peristeri lead it 41-40 at the half. Bamberg down double digits on 2 or 3 occasions and put themselves right back in this. 59-33 for Peristeri, and Bamberg still struggling from the 3-point line with only 22%, but have been to the free throw line 11 times. Great work on the glass for Bamberg. 8 offensive rebounds have helped with that 3-point shooting. That has been a super half for basketball. Hatcher was on fire early. Cameron Taylor with 14 points. Real support from Elias Harris. Those two have dragged Bamberg back into this. Peristeri win. They're in the playoffs. Bamberg win and win next week. They're in the playoffs. Could be at the expense of Peristeri. This is a crucial game. We'll take a break. Join us again for the second half in around 10 minutes to see which of these two teams takes a huge step towards the playoffs.
winmasters.gr. Με κλειστά τα μάτια, πρώτη προσπάθεια. Ρούφα μέσα, ρούφα λίγο. Δεύτερη προσπάθεια. Καλύτερο, τελευταία προσπάθεια για να δούμε. Κατά την έψη προσπάθεια σήμερα. Με κλειστά τα μάτια του winmasters. Δυστυχώς έξω και αυτή. Κερδίζεται από ένα t-shirt. Πάνω τα κασκόλ, τα οποία μέσα από τα μάτια σας. Από το δικό μας winmasters.gr. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ για τη συμμετοχή. Και είμαστε έτοιμοι να ακούσουμε τη φωνή του μεγάλου legend των γηπέδων του Bryant. Dear basketball. From the moment I started rolling my dad's two socks and shooting imaginary game-winning shots in the Great Western Forum, I knew one thing was real. I fell in love with you. A love so deep, I gave you my all. From my mind and body to my spirit and soul. As a 6-year-old boy, deeply in love.
Taking full screen from Radovic. He wants the pass, gets the pass. Great fight. Seeley going up with a great fight in the pick and roll.
On the shot clock, gotta shoot it. Madsen in the lane. Madsen with the throwdown. You gotta love it. I mean, he set the screen, went straight to the basket, and it was finish airways.
And the Sixers with an opportunity here to take the lead at halftime. McKissick flies it in. Oh my goodness, quite possibly for the play of the half.
Oh, now to McGee, drives the baseline. Oh, nutmeg pass to Ibekwe. And he hits the three. Tell me that's not going to go onto the highlight reel. Look at this pass.
4 seconds left, the three-pointer to win it. Yes! Tyler Stone!
And Bona just a bit casual, gets it back. Inside, Sailor with a massive throwdown. 2 hands, straight down the middle of the key. That's more like it. Looking for the pass. Oh, and there's the pass for the big flush to Sean Thomas with authority. Cobra Brown's vision. That is a picture of perfection from Jerusalem. Inbounds to Telecom. They lead by 4 at the moment. Great pass! What a non-bounce pass! And the throw down by Egmont Giving, carrying on his good work. Now he goes off the dribble. And Terry with a big swat. Just throws it back in Simpson's face. Can they get the 3? The shot. Oh my goodness! Emmanuel Terry is taking this game over. That's awesome. Are you kidding me?
Vito Benite is exceptional tonight. He is just making almost everything that he throws up. Look at this. Behind the back. Wide open.
The
for you to have your Basketball Champions League app up and running, getting all the permutations, all the combinations of results. Download the app now, get up to speed as we start the second half. And Will Hatcher, who's phenomenal, quarter one, has it. First possession, comes off the screen, takes a look. Trying to go inside, but Murray's playing really nice defense on Murray, who spins, goes with a tough turnaround, and Murray just could not stay straight up, just walked into the space of Yannick Murray. And Murray will go to the free-throw line. Just got to stay and not walk forward. Stay straight, and Murray's got to make a tough shot. But that'll be his third foul. Around the free throw line. 75, just around percent free throw shooter for the season in the Basketball Champions League. Why is anyone not surprised that Cameron Taylor comes up with the defensive rebound? Taylor on the flex cut, doesn't get a look, wants it now though. Will take the Murray ball screen. Murray goes inside, doesn't handle it, and it almost decided what option to take before the option developed. Hatcher pushes. Gray looks underneath, will go inside now. Moses recovered by Murray, watch out! As he went on the short runway. And pushed the elevator button and said, "Penthouse, please," and threw it down. Nice start, Peristeri. Paris Lee, who's got to become assertive if they're going to get the win here. Same play, gets Taylor the basketball, gets underneath the screen. Ray just gets in his way a little. 5 seconds on the possession. And they have to put this up. And Indy comes up with another turnover, but that's a little harsh on him as he was given no options with anything to do with the basketball. There's the travel, picked up the pivot foot. 11 Bamberg turnovers. And Peristeri just milking the inside at the moment. Malaya puts it on the floor, goes to the left hand, doesn't get the drop, hunted down. And as soon as you mention hunted down and effort, Taylor's your man. Malaya will hand off. Lee turns the corner, in the lane. Schenfelder. Defensive series by Peristeri, just scrambled really well. Malaya goes up with a right hand with a soft touch. And the little right hand push for two. 10 points personal, has not missed a field goal. Stephen Gray, feet set, strokes the three, and just nothing but net. Feeling it tonight. As we've said before, as Gray goes, does Peristeri go, because he's the balance in the scoring. Where he goes again, baseline, nice move, gets a little push, stays with it. Just couldn't get it up in the traffic, has to throw it out. They line it up, Taylor for three, got it. What a night for Cameron Taylor. 17 personal. Two-point game, and so much riding on the result. Foul away from the basketball as Gray tried to come off Moses' little down screen. There's the hold by Taylor. Second foul on Cameron Taylor. Right in the lane, second move for two. Get that coaching manual out. Great footwork by the Angolan. Jump, stop, step through. Probably tried that move since he was, well, what, 10. Little floater is no good. Oh, rebound by Taylor, who just outworks everybody. Taylor has it again. Lee. Lee's just got to give this team some offense. Stops, wants to foul, and the first look has a little bit of sympathy from me on that one. Hatcher slices through the show. Nice pass. And Moses is blocked, but he'll get another opportunity. Nice pass off the glass is no good. Right, comes down with Lee. 5-on-4 here. Lee in the lane. Pops it out. Olindi for 3 is no good. And all of a sudden, and just about, Yannick Morea comes back into shot. You'd have hoped that Bamberg would have been a little bit more aggressive than just settling for the 3. Yannick Morea is going to take a little moment. Right, hands off Peristeri. Lindy thinks about it, drops it inside. Double Gray shows a little dig at the basketball. Morea gets deep, goes up with the right hand, and he just muscled Skordilis deep and finished over the big 2'7" center, and that's not easy. 2-point game. Gray in the lane, will kick. The open 3 is no good. It's a box out by Morea, who really is having a big influence now. Lee stops and pops the 3 and joins the party, and Bamberg, for the first time on the night, have their first lead. And Lee drops the 3. Gray will face up, looks at his options, will wait for the Moses screen. Going to switch the screen, our Bamberg. And you can do that with Olindi because he gives you that size. Gray with a little lean back 2 is no good. Moses corrals in their rebound. Gets deep, fouled on the play, will go to the free throw line. Kingsley Moses, 75% free throw shooter. The moment even gets to him. Pretty much on average for the season, but it's a big game. They need Moses to play big. Goes to 10 personal. Ties the game at 50. We have a new ball game. We have 4:40 to go in the third. Schenkfelder going to offer him the 3, he's going to take it. And Moses just looked at him, gapped him and said, "You've made nothing all night. Back yourself." Schenkfelder does and drops the 3. And Bamberg, 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. After shooting under 30% in the first quarter. Gray, little floater in the lane, doesn't get the roll. Schenkfelder and Lee combine for the rebound. Lee will push. But Peristeri, Lee in transition, and 1. Well, we were crying out for Peristeri to take some responsibility offensively. And he has come alive in Q3. Makes the 3, will go to the free throw line for the extra. Nothing in his head apart from taking the 3, and Skordilis just lands all over him. Back-to-back 3s for Bamberg, and they are on a roll.
We receive 4 points from here, and instead to match up to make a foul, we let him score 2 times. This is stupidity. Use the ball. Guys, use it. The moment he goes to the ball, use it. Now it is out. No one open. Okay, so 4 men, first pick, no ball. Today, I want to step up. I want to step up from Zoe. The moment of the pick, you give a flare to Grace.
Wow, Bamberg have gone. Made three throws. Made three. It's an 11-point run. Make that 12 if Paris Lee knocks down the 3 throw. Five down, 7 up, this will be. Well, he can't complete. And Caroline Pellas, and Lee's after it now. Caroline Pellas penetrates into a lot of traffic. Taylor's down the floor, great effort. That is a super effort by Gray. Forget his offense. We're talking the desire to make the playoffs. What an effort to get back in transition. Substitution for Bamberg. Olindi will sit. And Trey McLean checks in. Trey McLean being just anonymous so far. Lee is off for that 3. All goes out of bounds. Peristeri will have a chance to eat into the 6-point margin. Caroline Pellas gets it into Gray. He looks down low. Dillis tries to muscle in, goes up with the jump hook, is blocked. Off the... Stays with it though. Soft touch for the 2. The 32-year-old, it won't be the first time or the last time he's blocked. But all that means is he's got to go get it again. Taylor in the lane, has it knocked away. 3-on-1, 4-on-1 break here. They can't complete the play, but Blake will go to the free throw line. Blake gets a piece and he's off. He needs help now. He needs bodies down the floor, and he just outworks people. Atkins had to commit the foul last 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Chance to make this a 2-point game. It's Peristeri's chance and turn to have the run. So like the first game between these 2 clubs in Germany. First one team, then the other team got the run. Bamberg on that occasion just about held on. On this occasion, Bamberg have turned this around. Trailed double digits early, now lead by 2. Cameron Taylor. Schenfelder. Atkins will extend. Atkins won't shoot the 3. He will pass. Taylor has it off the Atkins screen. Taylor handles in the lane with a little run up. There's a whistle. And Taylor gets bowed out a little bit. Have to go to the free throw line. Sit on the floor. Blake from the side gets contact. First one is good. Two for 2 from the line, restores the 4-point advantage. Caroline Pellas gets it into the half court. Moses has it. He's found himself. The way they've played him in the second half, they've forced him to the 3-point line that they as Moses been. He's just, as opposed to diving to the inside, as Gray just fills it up. Great stroke by Stephen Gray. Back to a 1-point game. Ball's knocked away. Will stay with Bamberg. Felder's going to sit. Going to be replaced by Elias Harris, who's been so good for Bamberg in this game so far. Harris will relieve the pressure. Hands it off. Over Sean. Comes off the high screen. Harris at the high post. Could have gone to Taylor. Now goes to Taylor. Has to take a tough one. No time at all. Had to take a 1-footed three. Gray pushes. Gets it deep. Takes the ball screen and looks inside. Settles for the three. Is long. And unfortunately, after the great effort for Peristeri, that'll go back to Bamberg. Blake trying to do all those blue-collar things he does week in, week out. Sean has it at the half. We'll get the ball screen from Atkins, who only rolls short. Atkins delays and is picked off. Chance to run, numbers down the floor. Great pass. Super point of transition by Stephen Gray. Super fine. You turn your defense into offense, and it's a 1-point lead for Peristeri. 8 fast break points for the Greek club. Foul on the play. Caroline Pellas gave up the baseline. No need to foul, had help. So much confidence shown in Caroline Pellas, only 18 years old. Papanikolaopoulos, age is a number. Offensive foul as Atkins tries to bully Caroline Pellas in the post. Just pushes him off. This will be a 5.5 though for the effort to dive, but it was a foul. Just Caroline Pellas went down really well. Did a great job getting in front of Atkins. Took away the space. Atkins just couldn't establish the position he wanted. Commits the offensive foul. Blake will move it on. Skoudilis. Caroline Pellas looks at his options. 6 on the possession. Caroline Pellas breaks it down. Ball broken up. McLean gets a piece. Noise is relentless. The home fans trying to do all they can to get Peristeri over the line and into the playoffs. They have to go long out of bounds. Blake steps back for the tough three. Is no good. And it gets called up with the scoring equipment. Christos Salustros checks in. I think like billing Salustros into a game with some atmosphere. Thrives on it. Over Sean into the half court. Flattens off the set. 5-second differential between possession and game clock. Takes the second screen. They're going to call that a holding foul. Peristeri have a foul to give. So that will turn off the possession with no shots. Maybe the second foul for Caroline Pellas. Plenty of time here. Sean comes off the screen, tries to get a little space here. Skoudilis protects it, blows past him. Oh! He went for the big finish. when a left hand finish would do. Let's take a look. Creates a space. Blake comes over and says, get out of here. Great rotation. Time defensive play. And we've reached the end of 3. And this one is poised. That team's ready. I don't think we've mentioned them in the game at all. Exactly how it should be. Been a number of fouls called because the intensity's been there. Well, they called the foul. In the end, they called the foul. Abishar has the 2 throws, which instead of it, in fact, Blake was called for a technical foul. So we're set after the technical on Blake. 59-59, 1/4 of basketball to decide this one and potentially the qualifiers from this group. Sean comes off the screen, looks at his options, will kick it. The 3 is good. It's all of a sudden the 3-point line is the friend of Bamberg. Hatcher. They move it on. Canada penetrates and kicks. There's a foul on the play. Harris picks up the personal. Here's the 3 to start the 4th. And Palas comes off the screen, looks at his options. Pick and pop. Skordilis will try to hand off. The clean is all over Hatcher. They're going to have to switch it though. Hatcher with the 3, deep in the shot clock, hits nothing. Bamberg just turning the screw defensively. Taylor drops it inside. Foul on the play. Harris going to work. Blake picks up the personal. Morea will have to become a factor in this 4th quarter. They started this game, Peristeri, inside, outside, throwing it inside as often as possible. Hatcher was really active. Harris lines up the 3, is off. Aaron Pelaf gets it into the half court. Morea has to extend to reverse the ball. Moran Pellas comes off the Morea screen. Morea now dives, gets it deep, goes with the right hand off the glass. Super little finish. Quick, active. 15 points today. The bigs for Peristeri have come to play. Atkins with a little push. That's a rebound. Harris just going to work, can't get the putback away. Hatcher pushes, it looks long. Goes upstairs. Great finish. Blake manufactured it somehow. And now it's Peristeri's turn to lead. Sean attacks it, he's fouled. Will have to earn it from the free throw line. Through the contact, will go to the line for two. Blake manufactured that finish really well, at speed, under pressure. Sean on the free throw line. How long before Paris Lee comes back for Bamberg? There's one question. McLean is starting to play for Bamberg. Been anonymous up until now. Paris Lee is now back for Bamberg. Cameron Taylor sits. Can't believe that will be for long. One for two from the line, and we are tied again. New ball game with 7:50 to go. Both teams in the 70s from the free throw line. 17 trips to the line for Bamberg. Ball's knocked away, and I think they just touched down. And they're saying that they had control of the basketball. A show on. Well, if you wanted to know what the playoffs were going to be like, they're going to be like this. This is playoff basketball in the regular season. Hatcher is fouled as he crossed it over. Harris takes one for the team. Picks up the second foul. Hatcher. Blake screens, but then slips and repositions. Moses comes high. Defensive rebound. Claimed by Try McLean. Bamberg, who really struggled from the three-point line in the first half, have really found range now. A little bit of football by Morea. Moses is back. So both coaches trying to find the lineups that they think can close this one out. McLean off the down screen. Whistle on the play. They're going to call it defensive. Well, Atkins set a screen, that's all he did. Blake ran into it. No Stephen Gray in the game at the moment for Peristeri. Caroline Pellas checks in. Gray's just about to return. And Caroline Pellas will sit. We still have Blake in the game for Peristeri, who are now in the penalty. It's a long time in the fourth quarter to be in the penalty. Paris Lee has it. Staggered screen to release Michon, who attacks it. Harris in the lane. Sweet little turnaround for two. Hatcher will advance it. They had so much joy by getting inside touches. Morea fouled and one. But he goes right. Such a tough guard because he's so long. If you stop him, he can still get the shot away. There's the foul. Sean went for the reach. Chance for Morea to Peristeri the lead one more time. he does. $18 points on the game for the Angolan. That's going to be offensive. And there you see the movement. Easy call for the official. As Murray comes back into the game. Just another example of how worldwide the Basketball Champions League is. The Egyptian going up against the Angolan. Hatcher puts it on the floor, stops, pops the three, he's short. Murray comes down with a rebound as Paris, as Aubuchon picks himself up off the floor. Murray on the trowel, just about mishandles. Gonna have to go back outside to Paris Lee. That's a blocking foul, and it's a touchy foul, but with the fact that Peristeri in the penalty, this, as the hold, is going to send Bamberg to the free throw line. So Murray on the free throw line is no good with the first. Under 50% on this Basketball Champions League season, and there's a foul on the play. And that will be the full foul for Murray, and they walk the floor, and Moses will go to the free throw line. 5.5 minutes with both teams in the penalty. No one's going to want this to become a three-throw competition, but if it does, you've got to find a way to win. Moses makes the first. But can only go 1 for 2. And Harris corrals in the defensive rebound. Lee off the high screen, attacks it, goes with the left hand for 2. And Lee just exploded to tie the game. That's the Paris Lee that was just such a part of Antwerp's success last year in making the Final Four. Ray is guarded by Harris, puts it on the floor, has it knocked away. Harris comes up with yet another positive stat. Lee has a chance to push. Lee attacks it again. In the corner, McLean can't get it to go. But he got an open look. Hatcher turns the corner. Great first step. Ball goes out of bounds off him. Oh, Lee gets a piece of the basketball. Hatcher almost recovers it, and then he goes out of bounds. 4.5 to go. We're tied. The future of Bamberg definitely on the line here. Harris goes up, gets the roll, and Harris has been phenomenal. 15 at the weekend, 7 from 9 from the floor. He's carried on those sorts of numbers tonight. Gray. Really need to get Gray off screens. Moses is fouled on the drive. Just stay down and guard your man. Harris gets caught a little slow on the closeout. Chance for Moses to tie the game. Peristeri will move it on. Oh, what a finish. McLean just extended and drops the 2. Nice pass. Morea's in the lane, gets it to go. Yet another tie. Foul situations making it so hard for people to play defense. Lee just fills it up. Oh, he's had a great second half as Peristeri. Super second half. Goes into double digits. Morea fills the double team. Forces it off the glass, can't get it to go. And Lee has it, and Lee looks in a very good place at the moment. Takes the ball screen, goes upstairs, whistle on the play. And Lee's just pulling strings here. Morea draws the contact. Frustrated is an understatement. There's the pass. Hatcher was charged with a personal. Murray will come back after the timeout. Shooting under 50% from the free throw line on the Basketball Champions League, SM Murray. And he's now going to come back after this timeout and shoot 2 with his team up 3. Bamberg doing a nice job in this second half from the three-point line. Peristeri struggling. They need to get Gray off screens. They need to find him in space.
Between the 2 of you, player of Lee plays the first pick. The first pick. He plays zip 5. Bring the ball from the side. 4 men in, out, pick. Now Yannick will go the short road. Here. And from here you decide. Extra pass, side pick. Okay, play. Okay. Player of McNeil here. Player of Lee.
It's as much mental as it is anything else for SM Murray. This is the first. He went 0 for 2 on his last trip. And the crowd are going to make sure he thinks about it for as long as he can. 74-71, 2:25 to go. The crowd noise is incessant in this gym. All right, goes 0 for 2 again. There's a decision here for Bamberg. If they leave him in the game, you know what's going to happen. Caroline Pellas will find Morea, who moves it on. Hatcher thinks about pulling up in the lane, drops it to Moses. Morea somehow secures it. No, he doesn't. Murray has it. Needs to get rid of it. Lee will give it up. Sean gets it to the corner. McLean will do the right thing and bring it out. Already down to 10 though. Paris Lee attacks it. Gets it back. 5 on the possession. Slices, puts the tough floater up. Can't get it to drop. And Hatcher will advance it. Hatcher off the high screen is fouled, and Hatcher will go to the free throw line. There's the foul. Both teams in the penalty. Will Hatcher goes to the free throw line. %78% across the Basketball Champions League for Will Hatcher, but when it gets to this stage, statistics count for nothing at all. Step up and make your throws. He can't make the second. 1 for 2. Bamberg a minute away for what will be a crucial win and set up a real nail-biter for the last weekend. Sean with a foul line jump shot, gets his own rebound, drops his size, Marius fouled. And he's gonna have to go back to the free throw line where he's 0 for 4 and try and make a free throw. Gray was obviously gonna reach for it. No way they're gonna let him go up. Third personal foul for Stephen Gray. Hasn't had a shot in this fourth quarter. Make that 0 for 7 in a 2-point game. Do you leave him in, or does Atkins come back? Makes one. Makes it a 3-point game with 1:10 to go. Big free throw with the big man. Hatcher. Moves it on. Gray gets to the middle, stops, comes back off the glass and one. Gray gets his first look in the fourth, makes it, will go to the free throw line to tie the game with 53 seconds to go. Super little spin, stays under control, that's the most important thing. Focus on where he wants to put the ball, kisses the glass for 2, and McLean picks up the foul. Gray picks up the 2 and has 1 to come. First free throw of the day. Pretty much a 90% free throw shooter. And looks like a 90% free throw shooter. Brose Bamberg take the timeout. 53.2 seconds remain. The game is tied. Peristeri win, they qualify for the playoffs. Bamberg win. It goes down to week 14 of the regular season.
But I want you on the ball. Okay, so you're gonna go this side. This side. Set a good flare. Okay, spread the floor, and you go in the side ball screen with E. Okay, you have nothing. You can have a second ball screen. Okay, we create out of the ball screen. Strong to the basket. Strong to the basket. Be smart. Let's go. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Ron Moores wants to come off the ball screen with Lee. Schenkfelder checks in. Asamari steps out. Cameron Taylor checks in as well. Here comes Peristeri. It's deja vu for Lee. He had to win the last 2 games to make it last year. Now he's got to take a different team down the same route. Comes off the high screen. Now he has a matchup with Mariah. Settles for the 3. And with 31.8 to go, Peristeri have the chance. Bamberg will get it back, that's for sure. Peristeri with the opportunity to make it to the playoffs. Roland Pelas will advance it. You've got Gray and Hatcher. There's a lot of threat on the floor here for Peristeri. Roland Pelas. Moses. Gray on the handoff. Slices through. Little runner off the glass for 2. Stephen Gray gives Peristeri the 2-point lead with 12 seconds to go. Sweet little play. Just slices through. Composure, control, and soft touch for 2. Seconds to decide Bamberg's future in the Basketball Champions League in 2020. Peristeri can't foul. So that will automatically send them to the free throw line. They could choose to foul early, but I can't believe they'll do that. Hassan Mari's in the game. That's a huge call by Moores. You could see a foul there if he has the basketball. Mari's got it. Mari spins, goes to the middle. Shankfeld can't get it to go. Whistle on the play. 1.6 seconds to go. And Peristeri are all but in the playoffs. Shankfeld's 3rd foul. Can't believe the play was for Hassan Mari to go to work and get the 2. Great control by Morea to put him under pressure and not foul him, even though he's 1 for 8 from the free throw line. Moses to ice it. Moses to send Peristeri into the playoffs. When there's time, there's an opportunity still. 1.6 seconds remain. To make it a 3-point game. Gets it to go. Bamberg have a prayer. Will they get it answered? They get it in. They go from their own half, but it's no good. Peristeri have qualified for the playoffs in the Basketball Champions League, and they have won a classic Basketball Champions League game here. 78-75 over Brose Bamberg. Some huge performances on both teams, none bigger than Gray, none bigger than Morea. And Peristeri are celebrating a trip to the playoffs of the Basketball Champions League. There's still a week of games to decide which spot they'll fill. But Peristeri have made it on a great night, on a great Basketball Champions League night. They get the 3-point win over Bamberg, who came to Athens, and if they'd have made free throws, would have given themselves a shot at it. 57%, 13 from 23, has been their undoing tonight. They won the game on the glass. They shared the ball well. They gave themselves a shot, and free throws again have been decisive. Taylor was phenomenal, Harris was good. Murray with 13 points had a great game, but went 1 from 8 from the three-point free throw line. And those numbers are decisive. There's not many teams who are going to want to come to Athens and get a result, because Peristeri hung tough tonight. Tremendous performance by the Athens club. Asilopoulos out with injury. They withstood a phenomenal comeback by Bamberg, get the win, go to the playoffs, and they're not done yet. What a great night of Basketball Champions League action, with Peristeri and Nizhny making the playoffs. We'll leave you with the highlights of a great one, and we'll see you shortly for more action from the Basketball Champions League. Good night from Athens.